I participated in the Turkey trip of September of 2022, where I went to a mosque and talked to an imam. Other than that, not really a whole lot of experiences.
I never really had much experience, but I think that this trip is gonna just be a great experience, just kind of to get to know and understand how they do their tradition and just how they live their life, I guess.
Some of it is a little confusing, but some of it is, like, there are pieces that are kind of linked to what we believe, even though some of it's like drastically way off from what most of us know. They don't really believe that Jesus rose and he was just a person.
I'd say as far as the Muslim faith goes, it's something that is, from my experience and people I've interacted with, that they have a high moral standard of doing good and being a good person. Certainly, it's all based on Prophet Muhammad, and unfortunately, there's only one way, and we know that it's religion that is deceptive, that pulls them away from the one way through Jesus Christ. My passion has always been for evangelism and reaching the lost, and I've always had a heart. I love the differences in people that God created in all of his creativity, but have never felt like I'm that kind of person that could just be planted in a country in Africa. But over the years, right here in Minnesota, with over 60,000 Muslims placed in the city of Minneapolis, right at our doorstep, it's kind of hard to come up with any reason or excuse of why I wouldn't step into that culture and want to learn more about how I can share the love of Jesus with them and learn as much as I can.
It just kind of dig deeper into the Islamic faith and to just learn more about them, because I had some friends who were in that type of atmosphere and grew up Islam or Muslim, and just to be able to relate more to those people and be like, I know what you're talking about. Like, I didn't come into this, or like, because sometimes they think like, oh, you know nothing about like what I know, and you judge me for it. But instead, it's like, no, we're in a relationship as friends, and I want to see your side of the view so that we can connect on a deeper level and start that conversation, because starting that conversation helps to build conversations into leading them, or just talking and bringing up Jesus and what we believe.
So what spoke to me was on how they are so based on works, that everything that they do is striving to be able to make it to heaven. And the more good that they do, they're going to get to heaven. What I heard God speak to me about was not to be judgmental, that I already had a preconceived idea, and I had to be more open-minded as to learn more about them.
I think one of the biggest things that spoke to me from a spiritual standpoint is really understanding that people from another culture are not a project, but they're God's children. And we need to take on God's heart for those people as opposed to an assignment, and let him break our hearts, pray for them every day, and really understand that they're first and foremost on God's mind, just as much as anyone else.
I feel compassion. They're devoting their lives and to something that's just not fulfilling, because their life, they're basically gambling, because they said they the imam that we first met, he said basically where he goes is in their hands. And I have this compassion for them is that I want to go back and I want to help them and I want to lead them so they don't have to gamble in their life anymore.
What I learned about the Muslim faith is that they want relationships, and that's what it should be. In order to talk to them and tell them about Jesus, we need to form a friendship with them. And that's what we should be doing to everybody, is form that friendship and show them how our life is different than theirs.
To someone who doesn't know if they should go on a cultural experience or even a missions trip, I say go. Because even though I've been on one and I'm not necessarily talking from experience, I think it's so much fun anyway to talk to new people and just to see the kindness of people from these cultures, and also the people on the group. Like, I feel like I have so many new friends now, even if they're not even around my age. Like, it's just kind of cool to have that community. And that's one thing that you can really get, but it also kind of helps you dive more into missions or evangelism or whatever aspect of Christianity we should be living our lives out, outside of the church.
Pray about it. There's some things that I never expected. I mean, I maybe have prayed a little tiny bit, but I could have prayed more. Yeah, prayers it's powerful. It's more powerful than we all think, because there are some things that you will have to be prepared for. And just like I said, just watching these people being deceived and devoting to something that's not worth it, you have to be prepared. That's basically what I'm getting at. So, yeah.